In the hushed sanctity of the private intensive care unit at Manhattan General Hospital, Derek carefully adjusted the four-line connected to the still form of Marcus Harrington. Little did he know that the man lying there would soon speak words that would shatter the careful walls he had built around his heart. The billionaire tech mogul had been in a coma for 5 long months following a devastating car crash on the FDR Drive that left doctors puzzled about his chances of recovery. Derek Thompson, 28 years old, had been assigned as his primary nurse because of his proven track record with critical cases and his quiet patience that seemed to calm even the most chaotic rooms. He moved with practiced efficiency, checking monitors, wiping the man's forehead, and speaking softly, as he always did to patients who could not respond. "Come on, Marcus," he murmured, "you built an empire from nothing. This is just another battle you can win." The room smelled of antiseptic and fresh flowers sent daily by Marcus' family, the Harringtons, one of the oldest money dynasties in New York. Derek had grown up in a small Texas town where being different meant whispers and distance, so New York had been his refuge, a place where he could live as a gay man without constant fear, yet still he kept his personal life locked away, especially at work. His conservative parents back home believed he was simply a dedicated bachelor focused on his career, and he had never found the courage to tell them the truth. It would break their hearts, he told himself, and maybe his own too. As the night shift deepened, Derek sat beside the bed reviewing charts. He often talked to comatose patients, believing the sound of a human voice could reach them somewhere in the darkness. Marcus looked peaceful, his dark hair slightly tousled against the pillow, his strong jaw relaxed in a way that made him seem approachable rather than the cutthroat businessman the tabloids portrayed. Derek shared pieces of his own life, the way the city lights helped him feel less alone after a long shift, or how he dreamed of traveling to places like the California coast where the ocean washed away worries. "You probably have yachts and private jets," he said with a soft laugh, "but I bet even you get tired of the pressure." The words flowed easily because there was no judgment, no response, just the steady beep of machines. Derek felt a strange comfort in it, as if Marcus was listening and understanding the loneliness that came with hiding who you truly were. Over the weeks, the routine became a lifeline for Derek. He monitored vitals, turned the patient to prevent sores, administered medications, and spoke more openly than he ever did with friends. His best friend Alex, a straight graphic designer who lived in Brooklyn, always listened, but even with him, Derek held back, fearing pity. With Marcus, it was different, safe. One rainy evening, Derek opened up about his past, the boyfriend who left because the secrecy became too much, the family holidays spent pretending to be someone else. "I just want to be seen," he whispered, squeezing the unconscious man's hand gently. "Not as the nurse or the son who disappoints, but as me." Marcus' sister Elena visited, often her eyes tired from worry. She thanked Derek for his dedication and encouraged him to keep talking. "He does hear you, I know it," she said. Derek nodded, feeling an unexpected bond forming with his family he barely knew. Colleagues noticed his extra time with the case. Nurse Lisa, a sharp-eyed veteran, pulled him aside one day. "Be careful, Derek," she warned. "He's big money and big trouble. Don't get attached." Derek smiled it off, but inside the warning lingered. He researched Marcus online late at night, the successful mergers, the charity galas, the rumors of a hidden personal life. 2 years earlier, Derek had volunteered medical support at one of those galas, and their eyes had met briefly across the crowded ballroom. Marcus had smiled, a small, genuine thing, before turning away. Probably nothing, Derek told himself, yet it stayed with him. As months passed, Marcus' condition stabilized, but no awakening. Derek poured his energy into the care, reading books aloud, playing soft music, and sharing his hopes for a life without fear. The hospital buzzed with updates, but Derek stayed focused. On a stormy night, as thunder shook the windows, he read from a novel about second chances. See, Marcus, even the toughest hearts find their way. He closed the book and prepared to hand off the shift. As he did, he felt a faint twitch in the hand he held, but dismissed it as imagination. The stage was set for everything to change, and Derek had no idea how deeply his words had reached the man in the bed. The next morning, the call came that Marcus was showing signs of consciousness. Derek rushed in, heart pounding, unaware that the first words would hit like a storm. Derek arrived early the next day, his scrubs crisp, but his mind racing with the news that Marcus Harrington had shown increased brain activity overnight. The team gathered around a bed running tests. As the billionaire stirred slightly, his eyelids fluttering. Elena stood nearby, tears in her eyes. Derek positioned himself at the monitors, ready to assist, but his thoughts drifted to all the conversations he had shared, thinking they were one-sided. Suddenly, Marcus' eyes opened fully, his gaze focusing on the room with surprising clarity. Derek felt his breath catch. The doctor asked standard questions, and Marcus answered in a raspy voice, but then he turned directly to Derek. "I heard everything you said, Derek, every night. Don't let them win." The words hung in the air, leaving Derek frozen, his face paling as the team exchanged confused glances. He stepped back, nearly dropping the chart, his mind reeling. How could Marcus know the confessions, the vulnerabilities, the quiet admissions of being gay and afraid? It was impossible, yet the intensity in those eyes said otherwise. Recovery began slowly with physical therapy, speech sessions, and endless medical checks. Marcus regained strength quickly, his body responding well to the care Derek had provided so diligently. In private moments, when the room cleared, Marcus reached for Derek's hand. "You kept me here," he said softly. "Your voice was the light in the dark. I felt it, all the loneliness, the strength." Derek sat stunned, processing the revelation. Marcus admitted he had noticed him at that charity gala years ago, felt an instant connection, but buried it because of family expectations and business image. "I was scared too," he confessed, "closeted my whole life. The accident made me realize life is too short." Derek struggled with disbelief and hope mixing inside him. Was this gratitude or something real? They talked for hours, Marcus revealing his own hidden struggles, the pressure from his father to marry and produce heirs, the fear of losing the empire if he came out. Derek shared more openly now, the Texas roots, the ex who could not handle the hiding. Their conversations deepened into friendship laced with unspoken attraction. Marcus transferred to a private recovery wing in his Upper East Side penthouse, where Derek continued as private nurse. The space was luxurious, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. There, Derek helped with exercises, cooked simple meals, and they watched sunsets together. One afternoon, as they sat on the terrace, Marcus smiled for the first time fully. "You saved me in more ways than one." Derek felt his heart open, but doubts crept in. What would the world say? A nurse and a billionaire. Marcus' family arrived in waves, Elena supportive, but the father stern and distant. Old Man Harrington eyed Derek suspiciously, demanding updates, but pushing for Marcus to return to board meetings and social events with suitable women. Derek felt the tension rising. Meanwhile, at the hospital, rumors spread about his special assignment. Lisa cornered him again. "People are talking, Derek. Be smart." Derek brushed it off, but inside the pressure built. He confided in Alex over coffee in Brooklyn. "This feels real but terrifying," Alex said supportively. "You deserve happiness." As weeks turned to months, Marcus regained full mobility. They took short walks in the building garden, where Marcus first held Derek's hand longer than necessary. The touch sent sparks through Derek, but he pulled back, afraid of crossing lines. Marcus sensed it. "I am not imagining this," he said quietly. "I want to explore it." Derek nodded, but the internal conflict raged. Was he ready for the spotlight, the judgment, the sacrifice? The bond grew stronger with shared laughs over bad hospital food stories and quiet evenings reading together. Derek began to see a future, but society and family loomed like shadows. Marcus insisted on a small celebration for his recovery, a private dinner in the penthouse with just Derek and Elena. The table was set with candles and fine wine, though Derek stuck to water, feeling out of place. Marcus raised a glass to the man who brought me back. Their eyes met, and for the first time, Derek allowed himself to feel the romance budding. After Elena left, Marcus pulled Derek to the balcony overlooking the glittering city. "I have hidden who I am for too long," he said, the night air cool around them. "With you, I feel seen." They shared their first kiss, tentative and full of promise, Derek's heart racing with joy and fear. The next weeks were a whirlwind of recovery milestones. Marcus returned to light work from home, Derek staying on as companion and nurse. They explored the city in disguised simple walks where Marcus wore caps and sunglasses. In Central Park, they sat on a bench talking about dreams, Marcus wanting to fund LGBTQ charities, quietly Derek hoping to reconcile with his family someday. The moments felt joyful, Marcus' laughter genuine as they watched dogs play and children run. Yet cracks appeared. Old Man Harrington summoned Marcus to the family estate in the Hamptons, demanding he attend a society gala with a prominent socialite to squash rumors. Marcus refused at first, but the pressure mounted, the business partners threatening to pull funding if the image faltered. Derek waited at the penthouse, anxiety building. When Marcus returned late, he explained it was just for show, but Derek felt the sting of doubt. Am I just a secret? Misunderstandings grew. A tabloid hinted at Marcus' mystery companion, and Lisa at the hospital leaked subtle comments to colleagues about Derek's closeness to the billionaire. Alex tried to mediate, but even he questioned if the class difference was too great. Derek confronted Marcus in the penthouse. I cannot be your hidden chapter. Marcus promised change, but the family dinner the next week turned tense. The father grilled Derek on his background, dismissing him as temporary help. Elena defended them, but the damage lingered. Derek retreated to his Brooklyn apartment, questioning everything. Marcus called daily, pleading for understanding. The romance deepened during a weekend getaway to a quiet cabin upstate where they hiked and talked until dawn. Marcus opened about his own past heartbreaks, the fear of losing everything. Derek felt the love solidify, but the external world pressed harder. A colleague from the hospital posted anonymous online speculation about the gay nurse and the billionaire, stirring online buzz. Derek panicked, deleting apps, but the seed of betrayal was planted. Marcus proposed they face it together, but Derek needed time. The emotional roller coaster built as they navigated the joy of connection against the weight of secrets. The rumors escalated when a former hospital coworker sold a story to a gossip site claiming Derek had taken advantage of his position with the vulnerable billionaire. Marcus' legal team shut it down quickly, but the damage to Derek's reputation at work was done. Colleagues whispered, and his supervisor suggested a leave of absence. Derek felt betrayed. The colleague had once been friendly, now driven by jealousy over the high-profile case. Marcus offered to hire him full-time, but Derek refused, wanting independence. They argued for the first time, Marcus accusing him of pushing away out of fear, Derek retorting that Marcus still hid from his father. The misunderstanding hurt deeply, both retreating to lick wounds. Marcus attended the gala as demanded, standing beside the socialite for photos while Derek watched from home, heart aching. Later, Marcus showed up at Derek's door in the rain. It meant nothing, he said, I choose you. They reconciled with a long hug, Derek realizing his love was stronger than doubt. To escape the pressure, they planned a trip to Malibu, borrowing a friend's beach house. There on the sunny shores, they walked barefoot, hands linked, laughing as waves tickled their feet. The joyful moments reminded Derek why it was worth fighting for. Marcus talked about coming out publicly, Derek supporting but warning of consequences. Back in New York, the father confronted them at the penthouse. This is a phase, he snarled at Marcus, you have responsibilities. Derek stood tall, defending their love, but the old man threatened to cut Marcus from the will and business. The sacrifice loomed, Marcus considering stepping back from the company to protect Derek. Internal crises hit Derek hard, questioning if he was worth the loss. His own family called from Texas, sensing something wrong, and he nearly confessed but hung up. Alex offered a shoulder, reminding him growth comes from choices. The couple attended a low-key support group for LGBTQ couples where stories of similar struggles inspired them. Marcus' health remained strong, but the stress triggered a minor relapse, sending him back for checks, Derek by his side. In the hospital room, they held hands openly for the first time in public view. The bond strengthened through adversity. Derek grew more confident in his identity, Marcus more authentic in his feelings. Yet the climax built as the father scheduled a board meeting to force Marcus' hand. Tensions peaked when the father leaked information to the board about Marcus' personal life, framing it as instability. Partners demanded a vote on leadership. Marcus prepared a speech, but Derek urged caution. In a heated argument, Marcus accused Derek of not understanding the empire at stake, Derek firing back about years of hiding. They parted angry, but Marcus chased after him to the park where they had first shared a real date. Forgive me, he pleaded. I'm choosing us. Derek forgave, and they strategized together. The betrayal deepened when the jealous colleague leaked medical records hinting at the relationship. Lawsuits flew, but the media frenzy exhausted them. Derek sacrificed by resigning from the hospital to avoid further scandal, protecting Marcus' image. The decision hurt but brought clarity. They escaped to Napa Valley for a week, staying at a quiet vineyard. There amid rolling hills, they embraced under the sun, talking about a future free from shadows. Marcus proposed a quiet life together, perhaps starting a foundation. Derek accepted the vision but knew the fight was not over. Back home, the family showdown loomed. Elena sided with them, bringing allies. The confrontation at the estate was Raw the father listing all reasons it could not work class sexuality legacy. Marcus stood firm, declaring his love for Derek and his identity. Derek spoke calmly about respect and authenticity. The room fell silent as Marcus announced he would step down if needed to live truthfully. The father stormed out, but cracks showed in his resolve. Derek and Marcus returned to the penthouse exhausted but united. Growth showed in small ways, Derek reaching out to his Texas family with a letter explaining everything, Marcus supporting therapy for past traumas. Friendship with Alex deepened into a true support network. The couple hosted a small dinner with close friends celebrating milestones. Joy returned in everyday moments, cooking together, planning trips. Yet society still judged stares and public occasional hate comments online. They faced them hand in hand. The emotional journey transformed them, Derek from fearful to empowered, Marcus from closeted to proud. A new crisis hit when the board voted and Marcus lost temporary control pending review. He sacrificed the corner office for integrity, Derek by his side through sleepless nights. They traveled to Aspen for fresh air hiking trails where Marcus proposed properly with a simple ring. Derek said yes, tears flowing. The engagement brought media storm, but also support from unexpected allies in the industry. The father visited unannounced, seeing the genuine bond. Conversations turned civil, he admitting his own regrets from a loveless marriage. Healing began slowly. Derek family responded to the letter with cautious acceptance, a video call where his mother cried but expressed love. The misunderstandings cleared as both men communicated openly. A final betrayal attempt by the colleague failed when evidence showed jealousy motives. Marcus' legal team won the case. The couple attended their first public event as a pair at a charity gala, the same one where they had first noticed each other. Hands held high, they faced flashes and questions with grace. Derek felt the growth. The man who once hid now stood tall. Marcus thrived in authenticity, launching a new venture focused on inclusive tech. Their life blended routines with adventure weekends in the Hamptons, quiet nights in the city. Internal peace settled as they navigated remaining prejudices together. As months passed, the couple built a home together in a brownstone Brooklyn, blending their worlds. Derek returned to nursing part-time at a community clinic, Marcus mentoring young entrepreneurs. Family gatherings happened, Elena hosting holidays where acceptance grew. The father softened, attending a small engagement party. Sacrifices paid off in deeper connection. Derek confronted his past, visiting Texas with Marcus by his side, the town whispering but the family embracing. Marcus' health fully restored, they planned a future wedding simple and meaningful. The journey of growth complete, both men wiser, stronger in love and self. The wedding took place in a sunlit garden overlooking the Hudson, close friends and family present. Vows spoke of resilience, choice, and unconditional love. Derek and Marcus danced under strings of lights, the joy palpable. In the years that followed, they advocated for LGBTQ rights, Marcus' empire evolving to include equality initiatives, Derek leading health programs for underserved communities. Their story inspired many, proving love could bridge worlds. Through every challenge, they chose each other, emerging more authentic. The bond unbreakable, forged in coma whispers and awakened hearts. True or false, family expectations should always take precedence over personal happiness in matters of the heart.